Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DFS experience for week 3 of our NFL season. This video is going to be our top stacks video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out about 4 of my favorite stacks, and that's going to include obviously regular stacks, double stacks, and then bring backs if you want to run another player from the opposing team, hoping for a shootout. And that's what we're going to focus on, because if you're able to pinpoint correct stacks, that's going to help you build your lineup more efficiently, and it's going to help you cash more, score more points, and that's what you're really looking for. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be targeting the games with the highest totals, and then I might look at a game where I like to match up. So obviously everybody's going to go to Buffalo. The problem I'm having with Buffalo right now is that we have a wide receiver in Buffalo that is playing like an elite player, but he's not priced like an elite player. So you got Stephon Diggs, 12 receptions, 15 targets, 3 touchdowns in week 2, 1 touchdown in week 1, 8 receptions in week 1, 29 fantasy points in week 1, 47 in week 2. Obviously, you're not expecting him to get 47 fantasy points, but you see the ceiling, right? If I'm getting that kind of ceiling from Stephon Diggs at 7,700, I know some people are going to be like, ownership, but listen, if I'm getting this ceiling type player, or a player with this type ceiling for $7,700, I'll just have to eat this chalk and get different elsewhere, So as of now, I still like it. And if I'm going to be playing Stephon Diggs, what does that mean? That means that you got to pair him with his quarterback. You don't have to, but when his quarterback, is throwing 31 and 38 times a game, 26 completions both weeks, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. He had 10 rushing attempts in week 1. Didn't need to do anything in week 2 as they were slaughtering the Titans. I love this combo. Yes, ownership is going to be an issue, but I'll get different elsewhere. So I love starting my lineup with these two. Obviously, you're going to have to look for some value, but the discount you're getting on Diggs, if you look at Diggs and you look at Cup, that's a $2,200 difference. With the same ceiling as I'm concerned. Maybe a higher ceiling for Diggs because he has a better quarterback. So now, I'm not saying that this is my end-all, be-all, only lineup I'm playing. I'm just saying, starting a lineup, this is a great way to start, because you're going to get a lot of fantasy points from these two guys alone. If you want to do a double stack, everybody's going to go to Gabe Davis. I probably would too. You got Gabe Davis. You got Dawson Knox at 4,100 if you need some salary relief. 2 targets game 1, 5 targets 2 targets week 1, 5 targets week 2. 41 yards, 4 receptions, 8 fantasy points. Obviously, we're going to try to get to Gabe Davis. If you want to try Isaiah, you can take a shot. I don't think I'll mess with Jameson Crowder. If you want to take a shot on Gabe Davis if he's healthy, you got Josh Allen, you got Stephon Diggs, you got Gabe Davis, 6,300. who's an immaculate receiver in his own right. And they're playing Miami. So what are we going to do in Miami? We're going to go to Miami, and we're going to run it back with one of their pass catchers. Which one are you going to take? Are you going to take Hill or are you going to take Waddle? I'll give the edge to Waddle because while Tyreek's going to be getting double teamed, I'd rather have Waddle on single coverage doing his thing, getting open. You don't want to really read too much into the week 2 stats because that was a really weird, crazy game. But week 1, 4 receptions, 1 touchdown, 17 fantasy points. Week 2, 11 receptions, two touchdowns, 43 fantasy points. Obviously, you're not expecting him to get 43 fantasy points, but you're looking for something in between. As far as projections go for Waddle, I have him projected near the middle top of the pack, up there with Keenan Allen and Mike Thomas. So, you know, he's projecting well, $6,800. If for some reason his ownership is crazy because everybody's thinking the way that I'm thinking, that's absolutely fine. If that happens, I just go to Tyreek Hill. Gonna have to find more value, but finding value for NFL is not hard, especially the day before, especially on the Saturday or the Sunday morning itself. So let's pick up Waddle, and what do we have? We have Allen, we have Diggs, we have Gabe Davis, and we're bringing it back with Waddle. Do we pick up a running back? All right, let's throw a running back in here. I'm gonna need you guys to like this video for me. That's what I'm gonna need you guys to do. Like this video. So let's look for a running back that's not too expensive, that projects well. That's what we're looking for. Okay. I think I know where I'm gonna go. Let's go to running back. So you got the David Montgomerys, Cordell Pattersons. Who projects the best for me? David Montgomery projects well for me. You know what? I kind of don't like that game, so let me find a better game. Let me find a better game with a inexpensive running back that projects well. That's what I'm looking for. Boom, right there. Miles Sanders, 5,500, and he projects well. And that game has a game total of 47.5. So I like that. I like Sanders against Washington. I like that game to be a little shootout itself. So I'm gonna like Sanders in different lineups also. But I think you could plug and play him anywhere at that price, $5,500. So this is what I would do. And I'm not necessarily saying that I would play Miles Sanders in this as that lineup, but that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a game with a high total, with a running back that is going to get touches, and he's not going to break the bank. That way you can continue to build your lineup. That way at least you're getting some type of production from every spot. So we have 13 attempts, 1 touchdown, 18 fantasy points. 17 attempts, 80 yards, 3 receptions, 11 fantasy points. So I'm absolutely fine playing Miles Sanders. in a Buffalo lineup with Diggs, Gabe Davis, and Waddle. So this is going to be our first team stack. So let's clear this out. Let's target another game. Now, speaking of Miles Sanders, that Philadelphia and Washington game should be a shootout itself. Should be high scoring. Should produce a lot of fantasy points, and that's what we're gonna do. Which I'm thinking we're gonna do. Let's go. Obviously, we're gonna probably go Jalen Hurts. So let's go to Philly. Let's pick up Hurts, 7,600. Pick up his receiver. Which one do you want? You want Brown or do you want Smith? AJ Brown. Week 1 was crazy. 10 receptions, 155, 28 fantasy points. Week 2, not so much, 5 receptions. But we also know that Devontae was getting, he was benefiting from AJ Brown not being so productive. So they both have their value. Game week 2, 7 targets, 7 receptions, 15 fantasy points. So what you're doing here is, if you're going to go a regular stat, single stat with 1 pass catcher, I'd take either or, because you're getting a discount, $2,100 from Devontae Smith to AJ Brown. So that's how sometimes you got to look at it. Sometimes it's not necessarily who's the better player. Sometimes you got to look at the salary also. You are building a lineup. If you wanted to do a double stack here, because it's going to be a high scoring game, or it should be, we could do it. So we're running AJ Brown. We're going Devontae Smith. Then we go to Washington and we pick up a pass catcher. You know, it's looking like Samuel and Dotson for me as the choices as they emerged as the ones for Washington. So 5 targets each week, 3 receptions and 4 receptions, 2 touchdowns and 1 touchdown, 18 fantasy points and 17 fantasy points. And that's Jahan Dotson. And then for Curtis Samuel, we have 11 targets, 8 receptions, 1 touchdown, 20 fantasy points, 9 targets, 7 receptions, 1 touchdown, 22 fantasy points. You could clearly see the fantasy points from McLaurin. He could have a breakout game. It's very possible, but we're already in week 3. We've seen the tendencies with Washington, so I feel confident going to the cheaper guy, Curtis Samuel, bringing it back. So now you got Jalen Hurts, you got AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith, you got Curtis Samuel, and this is another stack that is probably going to be popular also, but you get different elsewhere. If you wanted to run it with I don't know if I would run Miles Sanders with this lineup, because what you're looking for is a shootout. But if I'm not mistaken, Miles Sanders, let's see his target. Week 1, 2 targets. Week 2, 3 targets. So that's not enough for me to want to put him in this lineup. So I'm not going to put him in this lineup, but we will get a running back. We will put a running back. You know what? Let's get a tight end. That way I can give you guys a little bit of variety. So let's get a tight end. Are we going to get a tight end from... No, we're not going to get a tight end from Philly, because I only want 2 pass catchers. You can also do this too. You can also take out Smith and put in Goddard. But I think, if you needed $500, you could put in Goddard. But I'm fine with Devontae Smith. I like how I like the productivity, and I trust that those two are going to get a majority of the targets, so I'm fine with that. Let's get a tight end that I like in a good spot. Okay, let me get I know exactly where I want to go. Hold on. Let me just check his projections before I say his name. For y'all think I'm crazy. Okay, his team total isn't that great, but his price is fine. Now, I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to play him, but I do like Conklin at $3,800. I like Conklin this week, but I'm going to save him for a different lineup. See, if I use some of the tight ends that I want to use, then I'm going to blow my next stacks. I like Hawkinson if he's healthy. I like Hawkinson. All right, watch this. This is what we're doing. We're going Irv Smith, $3,100. That's my tight end. So you got Jalen Hurts, you got AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith, you're bringing it back with Curtis Samuel, and then you have Irv Smith at $3,100 for value. And he too is underpriced because you see in week 2, 8 targets, 5 receptions, 1 touchdown. So his stock is on the rise. If you wanted to reverse this, put Carson Wentz at quarterback, 2 Washington pass catchers, run it back with a Philly pass catcher. You can do that also. Basically, I'm just giving you the blueprint on how to stack your team and build your lineup. Let's go to our third stack. Let's do one more stack because this video is getting a little bit long. I do like the Bengals against the Jets. I probably wouldn't. You could. I wouldn't stack that though, but I do like the Bengals. I do like pieces from the Bengals. Just so you know. Did we do? No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Let's do this. Let's go to Detroit. That game has a crazy total score. Not necessarily crazy, but it's high. 53. I like that. Now, if you wanted to jump out of the window, you can start this lineup with Kirk Cousins. Now, I know week 2 is trash. We all know that. But I'm looking for this game to be a shootout, and because week 2 he was trash, people wouldn't really be on him. So if you wanted to jump out of the window, you pick up Kirk Cousins. You go to his receivers. You pick up Jefferson. Now, if you want, you can do Jefferson and Thielen. If you want to do Jefferson and Irv Smith to be, as value, you could. So you got Cousins, you got Jefferson, you got Irv Smith, and obviously you know where I'm going next because we're gonna run it back with a pass catcher from Detroit. Going with St. Brown. So what do we have? We have Cousins, we have Jefferson, we have Irv Smith. We're bringing it back with St. Brown. Let me just check something. Smith, Swift. No, I'm not playing him because he has an ankle injury. I don't play players with ankle injuries. So let's back this up. Let's go to wide receiver. Let's go to running back. Let's pick up a running back, and and this stack will be done. What I'll do is I'll reverse the stack for you also. Gibson, Montgomery. I do like Montgomery. $5,900. I do like Montgomery. Cordell Patterson. Singletary. Okay, let's see. Cordell Patterson. 22 attempts, week 1. 10 attempts, week 2. 25 fantasy points, week 1. 4 fantasy points, week 2. I don't know what's happening with Cordell, but we don't like 4 fantasy points. I want to get you guys an inexpensive running back. David Montgomery does pop for me. It's Houston. Obviously, he would be a one-off. I'm very interested in him. I'm not sure if I would play him, but I am interested in him. Chicago, game total of 40. Houston has the worst rushing defense in the league. No, they don't. Houston's 30th in rushing, allowing rushing yards. So that's really helped Montgomery. And if I'm not mistaken, all right, let me see something. 17 attempts, 15 attempts. 26 yards, 122 yards. 8 fantasy points, 18 fantasy points. Mr. David Montgomery. I think I'm going to shove him in here, $5,900. I'm going to just shove him in for now. Nothing set in stone. A one-off from Chicago. Hoping Chicago just lets him ram the balls down their throats. That's what I'm looking for. Meanwhile, you have Cousins, Jefferson, Irv Smith, St. Brown in the shootout. Now, let me just reverse this stack, and then we can get out of here. And don't forget, if you're new, welcome. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up. If you're into other stacks, look, I've only given you 3 or maybe 4 because I'm about to inverse this stack. You can tell me your favorite stacks if you want. Put it in the chat. Listen, there's no bad stacks. Some are going to be high on, some are going to be low on. It is what it is. You build your lineup how you see fit, and hopefully it hits. If we're reversing that, we're going to Detroit. We're going to pick up Goff, $5,800. I like that price. We'll go to the wide receivers. You're going to pick up St. Brown. Josh Reynolds, 3 targets, 1 touchdown in week 2, 12 fantasy points. That's all right. Let's go to Hawkinson. I like Hawkinson. Hawkinson hit practice unlimited fashion. Let's see what he did week 2. 7 targets, 3 receptions. Listen, if he's healthy to go, I like Hawkinson. Even though his hip is hurting him, I still like Hawkinson. DJ Chark. DJ Chark. 4 targets, no receptions. I'm not really feeling the receivers from the Lions, to be honest with you. But I do like Jared Goff's price. I like Jared Goff's price. I like St. Brown's production. What do we do? Do we jump off? Or do we go to another stack? All right, let's go to another stack. I'm not feeling it on. I like pieces of this game. I like going from Minnesota side, running Minnesota decided running it back with Detroit pass catchers, but I don't like double stacking Detroit. I'm not seeing it right now. I'm not feeling it. When all fails, just pick up Mr. Patty Mahomes. So his pass catcher is going to be Kelsey. Really nothing there to debate. Wide receiver could be anyone. You want to do Hardman, you can. Want to do Schuster? He's 5,500. You can. Do we even have to double stack them with the touches that Kelsey gets? 9 targets week 1, 7 targets week 2. We know that Kelsey's gonna get a lot of targets. I might just leave him in as a single stack, a single pass catcher. So we go Mahomes, we go Kelsey, and what we'll do is we'll run it back with an Indy pass catcher, preferably Pittman, not Mr. Campbell that everybody played on Sunday. Gave us a big fat 0. I think I'm okay with this. I'm okay with Mahomes, Pittman, Kelsey. Do you want to do Allaire? I think in this game you can. 7 attempts, 8 attempts, 3 targets, 4 targets. So I do like the targets that Allaire gets from Mahomes. So I don't even know if you'll see a lot of builds like this, but you play Mahomes, you play Allaire, and you play Kelsey. Run it back with Pittman. I think it could work. Not the end of the world. Let's get a receiver. Inexpensive receiver, and then we're done. Tyler Lockett, no way. No way. You know who I do like that I will fit into some of my lineups, or a few of my lineups, or one of my lineups? Mr. Wilson from the Jets. So I'm gonna incorporate him into my lineups, or one of my lineups. 8 targets, 4 receptions week 1, 9 fantasy points. 14 targets, 8 receptions, 33 fantasy points. So if that's what Flacco wants to do, then fine, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? So a one-off from the Jets, he's getting that many targets. I ain't mad at it. So this is just an idea of how you will want to start stacking your lineups, and then you just fill in the pieces as needed. But this video is a little bit long. Hope this video helps you. If you want my exact lineup on Sunday, you can DM me on Twitter, get you a day pass or a week pass. And like I said, you can let me know your favorite stacks in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later. Ciao.